Hey y'all, what's up? It's Chemistry. I play video games and I do social commentary today. Um, geez. I guess this is the response video, but it's not really gonna be the response that you want because in a sense, it's a social like the way some people acted within the span of like almost 2 weeks. It ain't even been 2 weeks. It's really been less than that. But the way that some of y'all have been acting has been a social commentary within itself. No, but hey y'all, what's up? It's Chemistry. I play video games to do social commentary, and today I guess we're gonna be reviewing, but we're not really gonna be reviewing. But I feel like it's something that really needs to be said. But aside from that, let's get it popping, shall we? Let's really talk about the elephant in the room. I came out with this video a couple days ago. The response definitely, I knew that it was gonna ruffle some feathers, but I didn't realize that it was gonna ruffle a good chunk of people's feathers, but it is what it is. Nowadays, when you give an opinion, people get mad. If you say that you like pancakes, somebody that likes waffles will be around the corner ready to fight you or kill you because you said you like pancakes nowadays, because some people are that crazy. But something that I do find like incredibly interesting about this whole thing is I gave an opinion, right? I gave my opinion. I stated why I felt the way that I felt, and I basically put some stuff in there, cultural context, examples, things of that nature. And every single time I said in my opinion, or whatever the case may be, I made sure to say in my opinion, which is crazy because if you're making a social commentary video or a commentary or whatever in general, it's out of your mouth and it's your opinion of what's either going on or whatever it is in general. Like there are people that I felt like, in my opinion, there were some people that, tuned in and listened to the video, to try to see what I was going to say. And they respectfully gave their opinion. And I respectfully, disagreed and kind of gave my points as of why I disagreed, but I never insulted them or said anything mean or disrespectful or whatever the case may be, right? You have people that came on the video and proceeded to just say all types of just like out of pocket, out of order. Like if these things, like if the comments that they left were closed, I'm quite sure their mama would have told them to go back in the house and put something else on. And you have some people that pretty much was telling me to stay in my lane and mind my own business, and it's not that big of a deal or whatever the case may be. Like there were a bunch of people trying to argue with me and tell me I was wrong, but meanwhile, I didn't sit here and jump on their comments and insult them or whatever the case may be the way that they did me, which was crazy. If you thought this was a video of me backtracking, absolutely not. I'm not backtracking on anything. Like the only thing I'll ever backtrack about pertaining to like that video is like around this mark when I said anime, when I should have said that, everything pertaining to like what I was talking about with the title and, lolicon or whatever the case may be. Like that's what I meant to say instead of just anime as a whole, because I'm gonna just leave that be. But you have people, like I said, that were saying it's not real, you're being biased, and I'm like, duh, that's obvious, because at the end of the day, it's a commentary. Like I'm commentating and giving my opinion on something that other people view as an issue. If they didn't view it as an issue, there wouldn't be hundreds and thousands of videos that were made about it. To begin with, I'm not the only person that made a video about it, boo. Like, I'm not trying to even be mean or disrespectful about it. And then also, the thing that I find very flawed about opinions such as it's not real is the sheer reality that you're ignoring the fact that fake things, do have the capability and ability to affect people's lives. Like, for example, you have whole celebrities, like whole real people with fake alter egos, and those fake alter egos have changed people's lives in some kind of way. You have not just manga artists, but comic artists, cinematographers, like other people use other, like they use real references, like whether it's buildings, people, whatever the case may be, they use real references for fake media, whether it's comic books, movies, TV shows, cartoons, and and so forth. Like prime example, like Alice in Wonderland, that whole movie, like they used a real reference and so forth. And then you have some people that make fake movies or whatever the case may be, and those movies or books or whatever the case may be also reference real life events and real life people and so forth. So it's kind of weird to sit here and be like, oh, you don't know the difference between reality and fiction. I know the difference between reality and fiction. However, you're ignoring the fact that sometimes, in some ways, reality and fiction intertwine when it comes to creating media sometimes. That's what a lot of people ignore. They love to sit and say, this isn't real, that isn't real, to deflect from some of the things that are shown or whatever the case may be, right? And some people will also say, oh my gosh, like that's like you're just trying to say like that logic doesn't make any sense, because that's like saying people that play violent video games need to be put in jail and things of that nature. And I'm just like, if you're bringing up Call of Duty in this situation, that's faulty as well, because for starters, the whole objective of like that game to begin with is to literally protect yourself or your comrades against any adversaries, any opposition that is putting y'all in danger. Like literally, that's the whole point. You can't say that for Lolicon. So that's one thing. And then another thing is there was another person that said like, oh, it helps SA victims. And I'm just like, I highly doubt that, because I'm not gonna put, I don't want to put nobody out there, nobody business or whatever out there, but just know like there are sexual assault victims and survivors and so forth that highly disagree with that remark. And then also, not every single sexual assault victim or survivor, whatever, not every single one of them views specific things the same way. I can talk to somebody that views one thing one way, and I can talk to another survivor that views things another way. Like, you have real people that will sit and will say, oh, well, everything you're saying is stupid and you need to call out real predators, do some real change in the world. But the gag is, like a year or so ago, you trying to come at me about that, but meanwhile, so far, when I actually looked it up and I counted, it was just about almost 10 manga artists that was arrested for that. And they got a slap on the wrist. Some of them got a slap on the wrist, barely got time. So I could talk about multiple things. I definitely can. I don't know about you, but I definitely can. Well, this isn't aimed towards, the majority, like people watching. This is mainly just aimed at the person that said it. Like I said, I don't dox nobody, which is why all the comments in this video, I blurred out either what I felt like was like super irrelevant, or they're really just their names. so like, even if I did call it out, it doesn't change the fact that it's all still a problem at the end of the day. Like, you're not really making the point any better. Like, ooh, I'm gonna leave that alone. And then you have people that will say, oh, but their cases are lower and their society's better and da da da. And I'm just like, okay. So here's another thing, because that point kind of has something to do with what I'm saying, but it kind of doesn't. And then also, their cases literally jumped by 11,000 this year. So take that for what it is. So yeah. And it even got to a point where some people will sit here and be like, I'm blowing it out of proportion, and that the manga artists or whomever was just joking about the content or whatever they said. And I'm just like, wow, it's so funny. Yeah. Like, even outside of that, you had people that, like I said, they literally had nothing to like disagree about, I guess. So they just found it upon themselves to like insult me, long story short. And I feel like for me, something I think about on a, I wouldn't even say a daily basis because I don't really think about it often, but like I think about it every now and then, is the reality that people feel they can say whatever they want to you, or try to dictate what you think, how you feel, or whatever the case may be about anything you say, and will literally go as far as to try to tell you you're wrong, or try to tell you that, just try to, just basically trying to be like disrespectful, like as a whole. Because I've disagreed with people in my time, right? And I admittedly have moments where like I do have a temper and I get upset about some things. But as I'm growing and changing as a person, there has never been a time as of recently, or just in general, where somebody said something that I disagreed with enough for me to want to insult that person's ethnicity, or insult that person's looks, or whatever the case may be. Like, you had people going on the video, instead of just sharing normal thoughts saying, I disagree because of this, I agree because of this, they basically are like, oh, well, I don't know what to disagree with you about, so I'm just gonna bring up your weight, or I'm just gonna bring up, I'm just gonna make a slick comment about your race. And I'm just like, that is such a weird thing. Like, you woke up, you didn't brush your teeth, didn't take a shower, and that's what you decided to say. Like, that's what you decided to say. That is hilarious. But I don't know, it's really weird, because it's getting to a point of where now people don't like when you talk about specific things or talk out about specific things. It's like everybody expects you to push specific things under the rug and not say anything. But when you say something about it, people are mad with you. And it's like, which one is it? Like, do you want people to share their thoughts only to be mad about it? Like, do you want people to share their thoughts or not? Because it's very confusing. Crazy, because you have some people in the anime community that will constantly say that the anime community is very heartwarming and open and kind, but the moment you disagree with them about their favorite show or whatever content they consume in secret, now all of a sudden you're a fat pig, or all of a sudden you're a dancing jigaboo. like like it ain't that welcome, boo. Like, that's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Like, you don't gotta lie about that. Like, it's really weird, because ever since I was younger, it's been something I noticed, but it didn't start to get like crazy. It didn't start to get crazy like that until the pandemic, in my opinion. Especially, excuse me, especially with the way that people go online and then you say something that they don't like, and the next thing you know, you have a whole campaign trail dedicated to canceling you or getting people to not like you. Like, people are making he woman haters clubs behind closed doors, all because you said, I don't know, Boruto sucks or something. Like, all because you said that. And mind you, and it's crazy because I'm not even an anime YouTuber. I'm literally a Christian content creator that plays video games and gives social commentary, or my opinions on things. And then also, the beautiful thing to me about social commentary just as a whole, it's not about learning things or learning knowledge to prove people wrong and act like you're the biggest and the baddest and the smartest and the best. It's not about that. It's about having an opinion about something, or feeling a certain way about something, gaining factual things or historical events or research or whatever the case may be that backs what you're saying, especially if it's like a biased take in the first place, and you present it with others. And if they agree, they agree. If they don't, they don't. You kind of enlighten people with something, or you don't. Especially if there's elements and hints of actual true things in it. The beautiful thing is having the ability to acknowledge when you're wrong. It's a difference between looking something up and then acknowledging that you're wrong, and then people hounding you about something and then feeling like you're wrong, and then hounding you and hounding you and hounding you until you say you're wrong. That doesn't mean that person's wrong. 1,000 people hounding at one person doesn't make them wrong. Because that one person could be right, and those thousands of people can be misinformed about something. It's happened all the time. Literally, it's happened all the time on the internet. Because like prime example, right? So I was looking, like I literally had to re-look it up, right? So there's like this one comment that somebody had randomly made or whatever. And one of the examples I used was like Lolicon or whatever went against the Protect Act of 2003 or whatever. But me using that was incorrect. But the true statement of that is that there's actual states that, depending on what the content is, and they have to do an actual test or whatever pertaining to it, if it goes against that test or if it goes against those specific laws that that state has, it can be deemed illegal, right? Like that's fact. Anyways, like that's facts. However, like there were other things in the comment that was like untrue. The thing that annoys me about stuff like that is just because, you know, you may have caught somebody in one moment when they were wrong, that doesn't mean that automatically excludes that person's argument, like whatsoever. That doesn't mean that at all. That just means you're wrong about that specific thing. However, something I really learned when it comes to like debates or whatever the case may be, because when I was younger, I used to watch them debates like, oh my gosh, I used to watch that stuff like faithfully when I was younger. Something I had to realize was like, if someone finds not just one lie or one thing to debunk, but multiple things that can be debunked in your argument, it does make it invalid because you're not stating true things in it, right? So that's why for me, I do have a tendency to like overthink or overlook things, and I'll acknowledge it. I don't have an issue acknowledging when I'm wrong about anything, but I feel like a lot of people feel like, you know, just because hundreds and thousands of people are yapping at you about something, that means you're wrong. That don't make me wrong. That just means 1,000 people are yapping at me about something. Anyways, so my whole thing is just at the end of the day, when it comes to that video or other videos, if I'm stating an opinion or sharing an opinion or social commentary with you about something, you insulting me or disrespectfully giving your opinion, that's not going to change my mind. It's not going to win me over. It's really not. Like, even in the Bible, it says a soft voice turns away wrath, but an angry voice, you know, stirs it up, meaning ain't nobody gonna listen to you if you coming at people aggressive. They'll listen to you if you have a soft voice and you're respectful. But if you coming at people sideways, don't be surprised when nobody listens to you. I think this is truly one of the only social commentary videos that I actually did in really just one sitting, but then also I actually didn't look nothing up this time. I really just sat in front of a camera and stated my thoughts. So, with that being said, pertaining to that last video, it is what it is. I'm not backtracking on anything. I'll correct myself about something I said, but I'm not really backtracking on anything because it doesn't make any sense to try to insult people because their opinion is different than yours. Like, there's people I disagree with pertaining to like that topic, but I'm not gonna sit here and like talk bad about them because that's disrespectful and it's rude. But if you like this video, go down, press the like button. Um, you can share your thoughts down below respectfully, please. Not even a please, respectfully, or that comment gone. Like I said, you can share it if the comment is backhanded or disrespectful, like I said, in the future or just in general, please don't be surprised. Please don't be surprised if I remove it or just you from the channel. Please don't be surprised. But aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be taking a tiny little detox for like 2 weeks or so. So I'll see you then. But aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye, guys.